You're listening to Planet Chaos. And now, here's your host, Brandon Chaos.
All right, Thanksgiving Day, and we are on the air because we got nothing better to do. And if you're listening, you obviously have nothing better to do either. Either that or you're just relaxing after your huge turkey dinner tonight. We got a lot to get accomplished today. We have the top 10 worst songs of 2012, the top 10 albums of 2012, and we also have the top 5 songs about food and top 5 Thanksgiving films.
It's a lot of tops.
It is, and I'm sure people are probably wondering, top 5 Thanksgiving films, and you probably can't think of any off the top of your head, but there are a lot of films out there that take place around Thanksgiving or have some sort of Thanksgiving scene in them. Mm-hmm. You know, so we've got that top 5 Thanksgiving films. I'm actually going to start things off with the top 10 worst songs of 2012. And I know some people are going to hear this list and say, but that was a huge hit. Here's how I feel about what qualifies something to be one of the top 10 worst songs of the year. You hear the song once, maybe twice, or sometimes even 3 times. That may be pushing it. But you're like, oh, that's a cute song. And then every time you hear it, you like it less and less. You know? Most of them are extremely catchy, and you can hear it over and over again, and it just wears on you, the repetition of it. That's my thoughts on it. So, for the top 10 worst songs of 2012, number 10, Calvin Harris, Feel So Close. Number 9, Train, Drive By. Number 8, One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful. Number 7, Psy, Gangnam Style. Number 6, Kelly Clarkson, Stronger. Big Sean, Dance Ass. LMFAO, Sexy and I Know It. Number 3, Fun, We Are Young. Number 2, Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe. And at number 1, it was really no contest. It was like the first song I could think of. It was the first song I even actually put on this list. Number 1 worst song of 2012, released in November of last year, and has been playing nonstop at every dance club all year long. Maroon 5, Moves Like Jagger. So there you have it, the top 10 worst songs of 2012. It'll be available on my website during the next musical break. BrandonChaos.weebly.com. Go check it out. You can find all of our top 5 lists on there, as well as other lists that we've done for the show. You will also find our show schedule for the rest of this season. Today is November 22nd, 2012. The world's supposed to end in just 29 days.
Yeah.
Scary thought. And of course, there are people that actually believe that the world is going to end. There's people that believe it isn't going to end, and then there's some people that are like, it could go either way.
If it ends, what can we do to stop it?
There's nothing we can do to stop it. If the world's going to end, there's nothing you can do to stop it. But
So why worry about it?
I'm one of those people that's like, if it ends, it ends. If it doesn't, it doesn't, you know? Like I said, there's nothing that you can really do to stop it. Of course, then there's the crazy, nutty people that are, stocking up on the canned goods and whatnot. If the world's going to end, I don't know what good those canned goods are going to do you, but that's what people are doing, just like they did with fucking Y2K.
I don't know what good some green beans are going to do you if there's nuclear war or natural disasters.
I don't know why people thought that the world was going to end at Y2K. I never understood that one. The only thing I could really think of is, okay, if all the computers glitch, then, yeah, it could set off some nuclear warheads. But at the same time, that could destroy some areas of the world, but not, the entire world, I don't think.
They also thought that all of the financial records were going to be destroyed and we'd be in an economic collapse.
But see, the thing about that is they knew the Y2K was going to happen 10 years before it did. So they actually had computer experts working round the clock from like 1991 on to change all of that, to make all of the dates 4-digit instead of 2-digit like they were. And that was the only problem, was dates in computer systems were 2-digit instead of 4-digit. Now it's all been changed. And it was all changed long before that happened. So people really overreacted about that one. Of course, then they thought bird flu and swine flu were going to be the end of the world. And who can forget, last year, that crazy reverend guy that predicted the world was going to end in April, and it didn't. He said, I was 6 months off. It's actually going to end in October. And then it didn't, and the guy kind of disappeared.
Yep.
I haven't heard shit from him since.
I don't know if he actually believed that, or maybe he just wanted attention.
Listening to the guy talk, he really believed that he was right. He said that it was, it was all based off of mathematics. He, did all of his date checking and timeline checking throughout the book of Revelations, but...
See, that's something I don't understand. If you're a Christian, you're supposed to believe that God is going to do what he's going to do, and you're not supposed to know what's going to happen. Why would he give you clues in the Bible if he didn't want you to know what was going to happen?
That's the thing, is if you read the book of Revelations, it doesn't give you any timelines, really. It just says, this is what's going to happen when the world ends.
Yeah, it doesn't
it just... Yeah.
There's nothing hidden inside of it.
It's just a detailed account of what's going to happen. There's nothing really hidden there.
You believe in the Bible, you believe that humans were a conduit. But humans are not infallible. So anything written by humans is going to have mistakes in it. Plus, it's been translated 10 million times, so...
And
there's no way that you could have any kind of mathematics that would actually make sense as to predict the world's end.
And God likes to be unpredictable anyways. And so, if you got a bunch of nuts coming out every year saying, hey, the world's going to end on this date, God's going to say, oh, well, it was, but it's not now. He could do that. He is God. So he can say, oh, you think the world's going to end on December 22nd, 2012? It's not. Try again. He will pick a date that nobody is going to predict. That's how I feel about it.
I think the Mayans stopped on that day because it was convenient.
Or it's because they just happened to disappear right around that time. That's
Maybe
that's what happened. The Mayans disappeared.
They were unable to keep going with the calendar.
Yeah.
Maybe someone got tired of reading it.
But it isn't just the Mayan calendar. There's all this other stuff like the Earth, the Sun, and a black hole aligned together, and there's like some sort of magnetic shift and all this other stuff. And then apparently Nostradamus predicted as well. And, you know, the funny thing about Nostradamus is people will interpret his writings to mean something that's completely off, you know? Completely off.
You can take numbers or sayings and interpret them any way you want. You can twist them any way you want to have them mean anything.
Exactly.
You could take Shakespeare and say that he predicted stuff. If you really wanted to.
You could say that George Orwell predicted stuff. He was just off by a few years, you know? The whole Big Brother thing. I've been saying for years that, you know, reality TV is exactly like what we saw in 1984, you know, where people were watching each other on television. You know, people have TV cameras in their homes, webcam shows online. You know, and we're not talking about just like the sex webcam stuff. There's people who have webcams all throughout their house, and you can see everything they do every second of the day through their webcams. You know, and it's not just reality TV. You know, it's not just celebrities on reality TV. You know, normal everyday people have these reality TV shows. You can see into people's living rooms. You know, and I you know, when I had Ron on the show, he said that, you know, they really pushed for this digital box for everyone to have in their homes. And he said, what if that's the government's way of spying on us? You know, it's really a possibility. You know, especially with these new flat screen TVs, they could be able to see everything we're doing. So you could say that George Orwell predicted the future. You know, you could say that Stephen King predicted the future.
You could.
You know, you could twist something that somebody says and make it seem like something that actually happened.
And all the people who believe in like numerology and think that numbers can predict everything. You can multiply and divide and add and subtract numbers to get any number if you do it a certain way.
Yeah.
So there's no way that you could take a bunch of numbers out of the Bible and put them together in random ways to get something that you want to get and say that that's going to be accurate.
Exactly. All right, we're going to get back into some music. Today is the 15th anniversary of the death of the late INXS singer Michael Hutchence. So we played that little tribute for him at the beginning of the show. Right now, I'm going to play the Goo Goo Dolls doing a cover of the INXS hit Don't Change.
Very weak creatures for this.
All right, we got Country Grammar on Skype right now. What's up, Country? Can you hear me?
Oh, not too much. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. How's Michigan?
Oh, I'm actually loving it.
Did you enjoy your Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, I'm still stuffed. We had Thanksgiving at like 2 o'clock, and now I'm stuffed on desserts.
Nice.
7 different types of pie.
Wow. So are you going you going Black Friday shopping?
No,
No?
I am not that stupid. Nope.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done it before. It's not fun.
If I break it out, it's because I got very nervous. Right?
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Yeah, I got very nervous.
What?
I think he said he has really weak service.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't speak redneck.
I thought he said he had a really weak bladder.
That too.
I have 3G, but I only get like 2 bars, so if that at times.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, I'm out in the middle of BFE.
That's fun.
Oh, it is. Haven't got me a deer yet. We're working on it.
Of course you are.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? Let me tell you what, it's a long 6-hour trip up here unless you're playing the game of life on a laptop. It's very quick.
That's a random thing to play?
Yeah, it is.
It's me, for God's sakes. I mean, come on.
Wow.
Do you suck at life in the game too?
What'd she say?
Do you suck at life in the game too?
No, actually, I win every time.
Aw, he has to play a game to be good at life.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Well, at least he's getting laid, though.
Yeah, how many kids did you get in that life game?
Not here, but in Texas.
What?
Yeah, no. I am shushing. What'd she say?
She's shushing him. She doesn't want him broadcasting his sex life on the World Wide Web.
No, the window that's right behind me, as you can see, you know.
I can't see it because I don't have the video pulled up.
Well, if you could, then yeah, there's a window right behind you. And you can hear through it, and it's right to the living room where everybody is at.
Nice.
Yeah. Thought we already discussed this topic a couple weeks ago. Anyways.
What? You're cutting out, man. I'm gonna have to let you go.
Yeah,
man.
I got bad service.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you when you get
okay.
back into town, man.
See you later.
All right. Country Grammar calling us in on Skype
From Michigan.
from Michigan. Yep. So, do you know what the 16 worst things about the holidays are?
What?
Well, as you know, today begins the holiday season.
Yeah.
You know, and there's always that Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays debate. You know, I look at it this way. I'll say Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas on those holidays. But in the in-between time, I'll say Happy Holidays because to me, that sort of encompasses all the holidays. There's a lot of holidays between Thanksgiving and New Year's. You know, there's a lot of them, and a lot of them that are celebrated by all kinds of different religions because you've got Thanksgiving, you got St. Nicholas Day, which is December 6th. You have Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's, and all that stuff is just sort of within that month period. So, you know, I say Happy Holidays in between, you know, because that just sort of, that incorporates all the holidays, you know. But today officially begins the holiday season, and I have in front of me the top 16 bad things about the holidays. At number 16, they have little kids. I have to agree with that. You know, you go to a family function, they got all the little brats there running around, you know, the little cousins that only get to see each other around the holidays, you know, causing problems with each other because that's what little kids do. And of course, you also have, you know, the holiday pageants and stuff like that the kids put on. They can get annoying if you have too much of them. Number 15, they have going places. Going anywhere during the holiday season sucks because of the traffic. You know, even if you live like 10 minutes from the mall, it's going to take you a half hour to get there because of traffic, you know? You just want to go out to eat, it's going to take you a while to get there, you know, especially if it's snowing. You know, so during the holiday season, give yourself a little bit of extra time to travel. It sucks, but you got to do it. Number 14, religious fanatics. And I'm gonna add atheists in there as well. They get annoying around the holidays. I think that's when atheists are the most annoying. They shut the fuck up the rest of the year, but it seems like Black Friday they start crawling out of the woodwork. Walmart, take down your Christmas trees.
Who cares?
Fuck
about
you, man.
Christmas tree?
You know, I see a menorah over there too. You tell them to take that down? No, because you're just fucking with Christians. All right, number 13, the economy. Okay, yeah, the economy. In December, you always get the illusion that the economy is doing well because everyone's out spending money that they don't have.
Of course, and then January comes around and a lot more debt than you had in December.
Exactly. 12, they have bah humbugs. Yes, the holiday haters, they kind of piss me off.
Yeah.
They do. As a kid, you love the holidays. You love getting stuff on Christmas, But then it's like when you're, 18, out of your parents' home and stuff, it's like you like it, but you don't care as much. And then when you have kids, you love seeing your kids open up presents on Christmas. Then you got people that are just like, oh, I hate the holidays, blah, 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 At number 11, they have procrastinating. Yes, you have assholes like me who wait till Christmas Eve to do all of their shopping. Number 10, pressure. Yes, you're getting pressure from the companies, the manufacturers. They want you to buy their product. Then, shopping for your kids. Kids are pressuring you to get them this certain toy that they want. Pressure put on you by your family that you don't get to see that often. Which brings me to number 9, family. We all have family we love. We all have family we can't stand to be around.
Yep.
I'm no exception to this. There's family that I just can't stand seeing, even if it's only once a year around the holidays. It's just the way it is. Number 8, wool. That's right, you all heard me. It's cold outside, you gotta wear extra clothing. A lot of us don't like wearing clothing anyways. If I could walk around naked all day long, I would. Definitely don't like wearing sweaters and other wool clothing.
I don't know. I like sweaters as long as it's not the itchy wool. You could put something on underneath of that. Layer instead of wear a big fat wool sweater.
Number 7, we have excessive weight gain because people do eat more around the holidays. You aren't going, you aren't spending as much time outside, so you can't work that weight off. Most people don't start losing the holiday weight until March or April, It sucks. Number 6, having a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Obviously, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. People don't like spending the holidays alone. So, a lot of people get depressed if they don't have someone this time of year. But then the flip side of that is you do have someone, and especially if you're really into this person, they're really into you, they expect an expensive present. You expect to get them that, and then there's a lot of pressure.
Right.
Number 5, excessive Christmas music. I don't mind it, just not in excess. And it's not the same old tired tunes over and over again. I don't want to hear, Andy Williams and who else? Burl Ives and all those Nat King Cole. Yeah, I've done like a million Christmas songs, and that's all they play in the stores, There has been Christmas music released since 1950, And one of my biggest ones, charities. I understand that there are those that are less fortunate, and it's tough this time of year. But the way I look at it is, if you don't got shit all year long, Christmas is just another day for you. It's just a little bit colder outside and you're sleeping on the sidewalk. That's the way I look at it. And the charities expect you to give more around this time of the year when you're already spending a ton of money as it is. I hate the bell ringers outside the store, the Salvation Army people. I hate them because, you feel guilty not giving anything, but at the same time you're like, dude, I'm not exactly well off. I can't. I want to give my kids a few nice things. I can't spare the money, Number 3, your excited neighbor. Oh, yes. One of the biggest things, especially if you live in a nicer neighborhood, you've got the idiots in the neighborhood that compete with each other over who could have the biggest displays for Christmas. I love Christmas lights. In fact, a lot of times Christmas evening, the day of Christmas when I've got nothing going on, that night I will drive around and look at the Christmas lights. I like it. But, when you're competing with other people, that's completely different. If anyone's seen the movie Deck the Halls, Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito, that's sort of an example of that. Number 2, crappy presents. Everybody gets them. You ask for 5 things, and whoever's buying for you doesn't even make an attempt to find those things, and you get junk that's more expensive than what you asked for. Number 1, the overall letdown. You know, and you have these big plans for the holidays and, you know, nothing really seems to go the way that you had planned. That's the worst right there. That is the absolute worst, you know. So, that's your top 16 bad things about the holidays. And I forget, what's this, the website's called Campus Squeeze. So you should check that out. It's definitely very, very interesting. And I want to get back into some playing. I'm going to get back into playing some music. Right now we're going to take you back to 2001. This is Saliva with Your Disease. It's time to do the top 5 songs about food. And even though Alyssa's not here, she gave me her list to read on the air. And she always does the dumbest list when she can't be here, too. So I can't make fun of her to her face. You know?
Don't say that.
At number 5, Alyssa has The Presidents of the United States of America, Peaches. At number 4, G-Love and the Special Sauce, Milk and Cereal. Number 3, They Might Be Giants, Dinner Bell. Number 2, The Beatles, Savoy Truffle. And number 1, which I have never heard of before, Rosemary Clooney, Come On My House.
I've never heard that either.
Yeah, so I don't know it, but it's Rosemary Clooney, so I can make fun of it. Crystal, you're up.
Alright, so number 5, I have Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. Number 4, I have If I Had $1 Million by Bare Naked Ladies. The title doesn't have to do with food, but they talk about food a lot in the song. So, number 3, I have Chicken Stew by System of a Down. I'm sorry, number 3. Number 2, I have Raspberry Beret by Prince. And number 1, I have She Don't Use Jelly by Flaming Lips.
Wow. I think, once again, I have the best list. At number 5, Buck Cherry, Cream. At number 4, Iggy Pop and Kate Pearson, Candy. Number 3, Weezer, Pork and Beans. Number 2, Warrant, Cherry Pie. And at number 1, Primus, Shake Hands with Beef. Which the song is actually about. Like, Shake Hands with Beef is obviously a metaphor for masturbation, but they still reference food, and so I decided to use it.
Why not?
Of course. So we're going to take a short musical break, and then we'll be back with the top 5 films about Thanksgiving. Here is Godsmack with Serenity. Alright, it's now time for the top 5 Thanksgiving films. And once again, I have Alyssa's list. At number 5, she has Thanksgiving. I've never even heard of that. What?
Oh my
You
God.
laugh every time I mention it. Is it a horror film?
It's a stupid B horror film.
Alyssa doesn't watch horror films,
It's
so
intentionally bad.
the Juggalo must have
No.
suggested that one for
It
her.
was actually a couple of our friends, a gay couple who watches it every Thanksgiving.
Wow, okay. Number 4, she has Funny People.
I've
At
never
number
seen
3, Pieces of April, which, once again, I've never heard of. Number 2, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And at number 1, A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. What are we, fucking 12 here? Putting Charlie Brown on our list?
that. Hey, I know a lot of people
The
who
hell?
still like Charlie Brown.
I don't watch Charlie Brown anymore. Not even with London. I don't do it. Alright. Crystal, it's your turn.
Number 5, I have Pieces of April. It's a little independent film with, I think it's Katie Holmes. It's weird, offbeat. It's cute. Number 4, I have Addams Family Values. Number 3, I have Sense of a Woman. Number 2, I have Across the Universe. Number 1, I have Son-in-Law.
Alright, and for my list, I have number 5, Alice's Restaurant. Number 4, National Lampoon's Thanksgiving Family Reunion. Number 3, Zack and Mary Make a Porno. Number 2, Son-in-Law. And number 1, the forgotten classic, Grumpy Old Men.
Ah.
So that's the that concludes the top 5 lists for this episode. You can find the top 5 lists along with any other lists and our show schedule at brandonchaos.weebly.com. And I just posted everything to Facebook, so you'll be able to go on Facebook, get the link, and go check it out. We have all the lists on there, show schedule. There's actually a lot more on that website that I don't update as often as I really should. If you got nothing to do this weekend, I'm actually going to be making a public appearance. I will be DJing this Saturday night at the Funky Skunk in Warren. It's a nice dance club, probably the finest dance club in Warren. State-of-the-art lighting, great sound system, and there's going to be a nice little show there in the middle as well with my good friend Skylar Stiles. It'll be a great time. Come out, do some dancing, which will be good for you after Thanksgiving. You could work off all that extra weight you just gained today. So come on out, do some dancing, have a good time, say hi. I will actually be out there again next Friday DJing, and that will actually be broadcast live through Spreaker Web Radio. So that'll be fun as well. This Saturday, though, I will be recording a live DJing CD there. So it'll definitely be fun. Come on out. The bar is located at 143 East Market Street in Warren. It's going to be a good time. I really look forward to seeing everybody there. Right now, we're going to get into some music, and then I will be back with your top 10 albums of 2012. Right now, here's CKY with 96 Quite Bitter Beings. It's now time for the moment that you've all been waiting for, the top 10 albums of 2012. And I know, just like with a lot of my lists, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. You know, and here's my take on why these are the best albums of 2012 and why certain albums by like Maroon 5 or who else sucks? Adele or whoever, whatever. I'm going to tell you why these are the best and those aren't. See, we live in the age of iTunes and the digital download where artists don't make albums anymore. They make them, but they're not good. You know, they're like, fuck it, people are just going to download the songs track by track anyways. So, you know, for the album, let's put, 3 or 4 singles on here that are, what our producer says are exceptional. And then the rest of the album is just going to be throwaways. And with some of the artists that were around before then, the ones that are still making albums, they make better albums because they don't have that mentality. They're like, the people that have been listening to us for 10, 15, 20 years are still going to be buying the records. They're going to go out to the store and they're going to buy the album. They're not just going to download the singles from iTunes. So that's why these are the best albums of 2012 and others aren't. So here we go. At number 10, Every Time I Die, X Lives. Number 9, Stone Sour, House of Golden Bones Part 1. Number 8, one of my all-time favorite bands from the 80s, The Cult, Choice of Weapon. Number 7, a lot of people aren't going to believe I put this on there because it's a country album, Lionel Richie, Tuskegee. I'm not a huge fan of country. I like the older outlaw country, but I like what Lionel Richie did here. He took his classic hits and redid them with modern country artists in a country style. I liked it. It was good. At number 6, I have Taproot with The Episodes. Number 5, Marilyn Manson, Born Villain. Number 4, Fozzy, Sin and Bones. Number 3, Kiss, Monster. And at number 2, Hell Yeah with Band of Brothers. And the number 1 album of 2012. And we've waited a long time for this record to come out. It took 4 long years. One of my favorite modern rock bands that has constantly been reinventing themselves with every album. They just do something new. They started off as a rap metal band, and from that point on, they have touched on every modern rock, pop, metal sound they possibly could. This album encompasses everything that this band has done and even fuses together some new stuff. Brilliantly done. The album was produced by 6am frontman James Michael, as well as Goldfinger frontman John Feldman. And that album is The Connection by Papa Roach. There you have it, the top 10 albums of 2012. The list is now available on my website. So go ahead and check it out. It's brandonchaos.weebly.com. And just throwing this out there again, and I always forget to do this at the beginning of the show. I've been doing it at the end of the show, but you could Skype us anytime you want during the show. That's any broadcast of the show. And, it's probably better that I say it at the end of the show because that's usually when we have the most live listeners. Well, you could Skype us anytime we're broadcasting live. It's Planet Chaos Radio on Skype. Or you can email us to get in on the conversation, throw in your 2 cents. Whatever you got to say, just throw it out there. The email address is planetchaosradio@gmail.com. And I'll get the emails throughout the show, and if it's good enough to be read on the air, it will be read on the air. And if you're cool enough, we might let you call us on Skype if you want. Crystal, do you have any what would you say is the best album of the year for 2012?
I don't.
Any opinions on that?
I don't really have an opinion on that, no, because up until recently, I hadn't been listening to the radio very much. I hadn't been listening to modern music of any sort. I had been in my own little world of old music.
Emo?
No, not necessarily emo. I listen to a lot of classic rock. I listen to a lot of 80s and 90s alternative. That's pretty much all I listen to.
Well, I mean, you look at this list, and none of these are new artists, really. I mean, other than Hell Yeah, but they've all been in plenty of other bands that have been around for a long time. So it's not like there was any new artists on this list.
No, but then again, I don't know. I'm afraid to listen to new stuff by old bands just in case I don't like it.
Well, that's a risk you got to take.
Yeah. I'm trying to listen to new music.
You should. Oh, it's getting to be that time again. Show's almost over. We'll play some more music for you guys, then we'll be back to wrap up the show. Here's Motograder with Down.